From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, June 11th, 2015. Silver is trading at $15.88 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,179 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $233. Antiwar.com reports, with just a few days left until the UN-brokered peace talks in Geneva, fighting is once again escalating in Yemen, particularly around the southern city of Aden, where forces loyal to the former government fought with members of the Shiite Houthi movement in heavy clashes that left at least 43 people dead. Saudi forces picked up their airstrikes against the Shiites in several other provinces across central Yemen as well, fueling more civilian displacement across the nation and what aid groups are warning is a soaring humanitarian crisis. Despite the new fighting, the indications are still that both sides will be taking part in the Geneva talks, though the Saudi government is not expected to play much of a role, having repeatedly ruled out any peace talks and demanded unconditional surrender from the Houthis. That the talks are happening at all, however, reflects the increasing war exhaustion on both sides and the increasing realization that neither side is going to be able to secure an outright military victory in anything resembling a timely fashion, and instead are looking for some sort of settlement. Expresscoin is the best choice for buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and more. Expresscoin prides themselves on their customer service, so much so that the back end on the website should allow them to be even more focused on your needs. Get your cryptocurrencies with money order, check, wire transfer, or cash deposit. Get started at expresscoin.fppradio.com. That's expresscoin.fppradio.com. UPI reports a representative from the National Park Service on Wednesday said the agency does not object to an Alaska senator's bid to rename Mount McKinley to Mount Denali. Victor Knox, the Associate Director of Planning, Facilities, and Land at the Park Service, spoke before the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Subcommittee on National Park hearings. The subcommittee was considering a bill authored by Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska that would rename North America's highest mountain. Knox said the National Park Service appreciates the long history and public interest for both the name Mount McKinley and traditional Athabascan name Denali. The department respects the choice made by the legislation and does not object. Murkowski said she's pushing the legislation to reinstate Mount McKinley's native name, Mount Denali, which means high one. The mountain was renamed after the 25th President of the United States, William McKinley, in 1971, though the state of Alaska officially changed the name back to Denali in 1975. Despite that change, the U.S. Board of Geographic Names continues to list the peak as Mount McKinley. Murkowski's bill faces opposition from U.S. Representative Bob Gibbs from Ohio, who hails from the same state as McKinley. In January, he introduced a bill to affirm the name as Mount McKinley. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the Los Angeles City Council on Wednesday gave final approval to an ordinance raising the minimum wage in America's second-largest city to $15 an hour by 2020 from the current rate of $9 per hour. The measure, which still must be signed into law by Mayor Eric Garcetti, would require businesses with more than 25 employees to gradually increase wages to meet a $15 per hour pay level by 2020, while smaller businesses would have an extra year to comply with each step. Garcetti, a Democrat, has said that he would sign the wage hike into law, seen as a victory for labor and community groups that have successfully pushed for similar pay hikes in other major U.S. cities, including Seattle and San Francisco. Rusty Hicks of the Los Angeles County Federation of Labor said in a written statement issued after the vote, "Today is a great day for Los Angeles and the people who work hard to make our city a vibrant place to live and work." Opponents of minimum wage hikes say they place an undue burden on businesses and will force employers to lay off workers or move. The federal minimum wage has remained at $7.25 an hour since 2009. Supporters of raising pay for the lowest paid workers have expressed little hope for an increase from the Republican-controlled U.S. Congress. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.